What's going on, people? This is Shok. Before I get started, I want to address two things people have been asking me about. One, Pretend.co will be coming back. I did not take the site down. What had happened was HostGator, which is a garbage host service, and anybody who has used it can tell you that. Do not use that service. They pretty much cut the I guess you could say connection to the server where my site was running on, because it was pretty much getting too much traffic. Now, yes, I was paying a cheap price for that host service, but like I mean, the site wasn't balling like that. You know what I mean? I was not making money off the site. There was no ads on there. So, contrary to what all the conspirators think and stuff like that, I was not using that site as a source for income. It was just a little side hobby site that I was using to provide my subs with a, Nintendo community site. And that was pretty much it. And I was using it as a hub for the movement, which is the second thing I'm going to be talking about later on. The movement is not done. The only reason why it froze is because I froze. Of course, if I'm gone, it's just going to be kind of in stasis, just static. But that's not done. One of the last few videos I did before I went in my hiatus, it was that two-part video where I was talking about the future plans and whatever, and, cleaning it up and stuff like that. Yeah, that was one of the last videos I did before I went on hiatus. So go back and watch those. If you guys haven't, or even if you forgot about, what I said and what the plans were, go back and watch those videos. That way, when I do my next video, talking about it and you bring it back or whatever, you guys know where we're at, and stuff like that. But anyways, to the topic matter at hand, this is the next requested thing that people really wanted me to talk about this whole time, is the Smash Newcomers and the leaks and all that jazz and all this stuff. And this is a lot. I'm going to try to keep this video like as short as possible, but you guys know me. I tend to go over 20 minutes when I really don't want to. But the last newcomer I talked about was, oh, sorry, I just got a text. Okay, yeah, the last newcomer I talked about was Little Mac, and a lot of newcomers have been announced afterwards, so I have some catching up to do. But after Little Mac, I believe it was Greninja who was confirmed. I don't give two shits about Greninja. Like, I really don't. I know some of you are like, what? Blasphemy. Look, water is overrated. Water is too mainstream. Maybe it's my hippie side. I went Chespin, right? I mean, yeah, I'm not even a big Pokemon fan in the first place. I bought X and Y, but like that was the first Pokemon game I bought. Not even bought. That's the first Pokemon game I played since Gold and Silver. So I'm not about Pokemon like that. Although X and Y did impress me. It was really cool with all the changes they did and stuff like that. But I don't care about Greninja. He's overused, he's overloved, he's overrated. That's all you saw on X and Y online. Everybody went with Greninja. Tired of seeing him. I do not care. Sorry. Now, actual moveset-wise, he looks pretty cool. I'm not looking at maining him or whatever, but I definitely might check him out. He might be one of those characters, I play, in friendlies, just for fun, and stuff like that. Next, Mii fighters. And you guys know I really did not want Mii's in this game. But all because I didn't want a man, that didn't mean I didn't expect them, right? Because I always knew there was a high chance that they would be put into the game. It was kind of inevitable if you think of it, but if you think about it. But Mii's are in the game. And the reason why I hate Mii's is because they just look annoying to me. I hate the way they look. They look stupid. That's why I didn't want them in the game. But mainly, I didn't want to see Mii's online. Because if Mii's were playable online, that's all you would see. You wouldn't see any of the actual Nintendo characters. You know what I mean? Everybody would just be playing their Mii's, because mostly it will be a bunch of little kids who think it's cool that they are fighting, oh, look, that's me in the game because that's my Mii. I'm fighting Mario. They think that would be so cool and silly and shit, stuff like that. But thankfully, Sakurai banned Mii's from online. They will not be selectable in online multiplayer, and that was pretty much my main reason for not wanting Mii's in the game. So at least he incorporated them the best way possible. Hopefully Mii's are going to be banned offline, because I don't even want to see them offline either. TOs, please ban Mii's from tournaments. Next, Palutena. I wanted Palutena in the game. If you guys watched my video a long time ago where I was talking about the characters I wanted in, along with Shok and Little Mac, Palutena was one of them, and the reason being is that I wanted to see more, female fighters, because all this time, Smash has pretty much been one huge sausage fest, you know, or whatever. So Palutena in the game. That's great. That's one of the characters I wanted. But despite the fact that she's one of the characters I wanted, I don't necessarily want to main her at all because looking at her moveset and whatnot, she looks like a great character. But she doesn't look like her style is me. You know, I don't think it's going to fit me. I don't think she's going to really click with me like that. But she still looks like a really good character. And based on what we've heard from people who have played hands-on with her, she is a very good character. She's looking like she's probably going to be like on the upper tier, you know, of the other tier list and whatnot. So yeah, she looks cool. She has a lot of variety. Her special moves customization, like probably more than anybody else in the game. But as far as me personally, I'm not going to really see myself maining her. Pac-Man. Now, if you guys watched that same video I just mentioned, along with me, Pac-Man was one of those big no-nos. I did not want Pac-Man in the game, and the reason being, he's a shell of his former self. He's still riding off the past success of the old arcade games where, you know, it's just 2D and you're just going around the maze, getting the pellets, running away from the ghost, whatever. 3D Pac-Man has always been terrible to me. It's always been irrelevant to me. I don't even like the way 3D Pac-Man looks. He looks like a freaking yellow testicle with limbs. Like, no. He's irrelevant. I think Pac-Man is stupid, and another reason why I didn't want him in the game is because I knew his moveset was going to be really forced. You guys know what I mean by that? Like, I knew his moveset was going to be heavily stretched for, right? Like, Sakurai would have to try hard to give him an actual moveset. I mean, he has a move, like, where he holds out his hand, and, like, a Galactus ship is in his hand, and it hits him, like, I mean, you're like, yeah, I get it, you know, he's Namco, whatever, but the fact that you have to put things from other games from that company into that character's moveset, you know, kind of shows that that character itself doesn't have enough variety. You see what I'm saying? To actually have a good moveset for themselves. You see what I mean? Pac-Man is not a fighter. He's not a fighting game character the way I see it. You know, kind of just like Sonic back in the Brawl days where I was like, guys, I don't want Sonic in the game because all he's going to do is ball up. And people are like, you're wrong. There's plenty of stuff they could do. And then he gets put into Brawl, and then what is 75% of his moveset? Balling up. That's how I feel about Pac-Man. I knew his moveset was going to be lame, and looking at it, it looks lame. Lucina. I was excited at first because when he first gave vague details, it sounded like it was just going to be a return of Roy, except it's going to be Lucina. But now it sounds like the clone characters are going to be the literal definition of clones. I mean, people, you know, give Melee, you know, crap for having clone characters, whatever. But anybody who's even intermediate with that game will tell you that the clone character is actually very different from the characters they are actually supposedly clones of. Like, Marth and Roy, you know, play differently. You do different combos with them, you know, and stuff like that and whatnot. You know, the moves would look the same. The moveset would visually look the same, but the moves themselves would actually behave differently, and then the character would have a different fall speed, a different weight, you know, stuff like that. But when Sakurai was detailing Lucina, it kind of made it seem like she was literally almost just a skin with a separate slot on the roster. I mean, all he said was that she doesn't have the tipper. Like, she has no sweet spot at all. Pretty much if she hits you with any part of the sword, it's going to do the same amount of damage at launch. And then she's slightly faster. And, like, that's pretty much all he said. He didn't say anything about any of her moves behaving differently or anything like that. So I was excited at first. Like I said, I thought she would be, like, pretty much a return of Roy, moveset-wise. But it seems like she's literally, like, a skin of Marth with a, you know, with a separate roster slot. I mean, if you look at the trailer, she even had the same idle animation as Marth. Hopefully that was just earlier footage or whatever, but right now it's looking like she's literally just a skin. Robin is one of the people that I didn't like, or, you know, really want in, but it's one of those characters. But like, yeah, it'd be cool if Robin was in. You know, I'd be down for that. So it's good to see Robin in. He looks really unique. We finally have a magic, you know, Fire Emblem user, which is really good, and he doesn't have blue hair. You know, I hate how like 3 of the 4 Fire Emblem characters have freaking blue hair. It just visually looks so redundant. I don't like it. But Robin looks really cool. Based off the hands-on impressions I've read of him, he sounds like he's a very good character. He's very versatile, very well-rounded. So he's not going to be one of those characters that really has that many obvious weaknesses, because he seems like a very well-rounded character. Do I plan on using him like as a main or anything? No, but he's definitely one of those characters, you know, like Greninja or Palutena, that I would definitely, you know, just use whenever I'm just, you know, playing, you know, in friendlies or whatever, just silly matches, you know, and stuff like that. Shok. Was the last character revealed, and you guys know I love Xenoblade, huge Xenoblade fan. Shok was one of the main people I wanted in the game alongside Little Mac, and he's in. So it looks like my mains are going to be Shok, Zero Suit, and Little Mac. His moveset looks good. He has a shit ton of range, and to kind of balance that out, it kind of seems like Sakurai gave him a lot of startup on a lot of his moves, but you know, that's fair. It's just balance. If he's going to have a shit ton of range, then yeah, his move should come out a bit slower, so that's cool. Not to mention, he has the, if I'm pronouncing this correctly, weeaboos don't get mad at me, Kanji or Kanji, I'm pretty sure it's Kanji. He has the, you know, mode changes, you know, with the Monado, whatever, with the symbols, and it will make him like faster, or one will make his attacks faster, or his attacks will hit harder, but then he'll take more damage, you know, stuff like that. So the thing I like about that is that every Shulk main isn't going to play the same. You know, every Shulk main has more of a chance than all the other characters, you know, in the game. All the other players who are going to be playing, they have more chance of being more, you know, diverse than the other pools of character players are, you know, because people are definitely going to have, you know, mode preferences, things like that. Or we might have some people who like to use all the modes and just balance and change them up as the situation in the game, you know, is changing and stuff like that. So I really like that. Shulk, love the fact that he's in the game. Love Xenoblade. If you have not played Xenoblade yet and you like RPGs, you're doing yourself you're doing yourself a huge disjustice. You gotta play that game. You gotta play that game. Now going on to the leaks. For those who don't know, a couple weeks ago, Shulk had gotten leaked and legitimate footage with Bowser Jr. So pretty much Bowser Jr. is confirmed. And before that leak came out, there was also a leaked picture of a roster that did not have all the characters unlocked, but it was a legitimate picture of the character selection screen. And on that screen, it had the picture of Shulk that we see in the official artwork of Shulk. So that pretty much indicates that everybody else you see on that roster with Shulk is legitimate, because that was his legitimate character selection screen portrait picture, right? Portrait picture. That was redundant. Portrait. So pretty much everything else you see, and that was before he got announced, right? That was before the footage of him actually came out. So it was legitimate. So basically everybody else you see there on that roster with that Shulk picture is legit. Meaning Duck Hunt Dog is in the game, unofficially confirmed. Like pretty much confirmed at this point. We're just waiting for Sakurai to show him he's pretty much in the game. Along with Dark Pit and Dr. Mario, which I can't be excited for because looking at Lucina, it doesn't look like Sakurai is really going to be changing much about him. But I do like Dark Pit. I'm here's to hoping that Dark Pit actually has a different moveset, which for him, he really should, because there are a shit ton of weapons in Kid Icarus, and he could use, you know, a completely different set of weapons than Pit actually does. But yeah, Duck Hunt Dog is in, Dark Pit is in, Dr. Mario is in, and like I mentioned in the footage alongside with Shulk, whatchamacallit, Bowser Jr. is also in. What are my thoughts on Bowser Jr.? I think he looks lame. I think the clown car is lame. I'm sorry, I know that's probably the unpopular opinion, and don't get me wrong, I understand you guys, I understand Sakurai, you know, it makes him unique, it makes him play more differently, and I'm down for more diverse, you know, play styles or whatever, but one, I didn't want any more Mario characters in the first place. I mean, Bowser Jr. marks 9 Mario characters in Smash 4, including Yoshi and Wario. A lot of people like to say, oh no, Wario's from WarioWare, Yoshi's from Yoshi. Stop it, stop reaching. You know what you're doing. Yoshi is a goddamn Mario character. Wario is a goddamn Mario character. Okay? Okay. They're Mario characters. 9, including Bowser Jr. Too many. I mean, I already was kind of iffy about Rosalina, but I went ahead and accepted her just because she was a female fighter, and I wanted more females in the game because, you know, all these other Smash entries have been huge sausage fests. But there's way too many Mario characters. I'd rather these spots be used for more representation in other franchises, you know. So not really crazy about Bowser Jr. at all. If he was going to be put in the game, I would have rather him be put in the game on foot with this paintbrush, you know, or something from Sunshine. I don't like the whole clown car thing. It looks silly, it looks lame, but it's going to be unique, and I understand all that. I'm not saying it is dumb. I'm saying like it just looks dumb, and that's not the way I would have incorporated him. But I'm not the game designer. Sakurai can do whatever the hell he wants to do. Ganondorf also was in that footage with Shulk on Yoshi's Brawl. So Ganondorf is also unofficially confirmed. And Rob and Game & Watch and Wario were also on that roster picture with that official Shulk artwork. So those guys are in as well. Now, after this footage came out, there was just a ton of different leakers that came out. And for the most part, some of them are saying the same characters are in. But there's some fluctuation in those reports as well. There's one report saying Dixie, Shulk, Coruscant, Ridley, Bowser Jr., Mewtwo, Duck Hunt Dog, Dr. Mario, and Dark Pit were in the game. And this leak was put out there before the footage came in, right, of Shulk and Bowser Jr. So that gives this some legitimacy. But then there's another rumor that's like, no, none of those characters are true except Dixie, Shulk, and Chorus Man, Dr. Mario, and like Dark Pit or whatever. And then there's another one that's like, no, there's only 3 of those characters in. There's another one that's like, no, there's like 5 of these characters in. So really don't know what to believe at this point, but the game is about to launch in Japan, so we will know the full roster momentarily. Apparently Snake, Lucas, Ice Climbers, and Wolf are cut, according to one leak. And the leak you guys may have heard about is those characters being DLC. That was actually fake. The leaker himself was like, nah, I just said that to just fuck with people. So that was fake. So it's looking like these characters are probably going to be cut because I don't think they've been on any other rumored list and are actually usually on the cut list. So if you guys liked Snake, Lucas, Ice Climbers, or Wolf, it kind of sucks for you guys. But of course the big ones are Dixie Kong, Chorusman, Ridley, and Mewtwo. I would say any list that has Mewtwo on it is probably not legit. I don't know why there really is no actual, you know, solidified reasoning behind it. I just don't see him coming back, and it just boils down to that. I don't see Mewtwo coming back. I think Sakurai means Lucario to be a permanent replacement, you know, to Mewtwo. You know what I mean? The same way Roy's never going to come back, you know, into Smash. As painful as that is for me to say, Roy's never going to come back. Ike has officially replaced him. We can see that, you know. And it's kind of the same, you know, way I see it with Mewtwo and Lucario. Dixie Kong, I can see Dixie Kong being in the game, but a lot of people are saying she's actually deconfirmed because Diddy has a pink alternate, not an alt, but you know, a pink color scheme skin or whatever in Smash 4. I mean, I see what they're saying, but at the same time, you know, Mario still has his Wario colors in Brawl, and Wario was introduced in Brawl, you know, so that doesn't mean that Dixie is cut. Whether or not she gets in, I really don't care. I mean, like, yeah, I like Donkey Kong, and I loved them back in the day or whatever. I'd be cool with Dixie, but if she's not in, I really, but it doesn't matter to me either way, basically. Ridley, you guys know how I feel about Ridley. Now, if Ridley is in the game, I've said this before, the only way I'd be okay with Ridley in the game is if he is full size. You see what I mean? If he's full size, like Giga Bowser, like Project M Giga Bowser size, you know, like that size. When I say, let me clarify something. When I say I don't want him in, I'm saying I don't want him in the way that the Ridley supporters actually want him in. They want Ridley to be like 4'2". You see what I'm saying? Like shrunk it down to everybody else's size, you know what I mean? I would be down for Ridley being in as long as he's not butchered. You see what I mean? As long as he is his genuine design, aka big as shit, I'd be fine with him. Let's say like Sakurai put him in and he was full size, and you can only play with only 2 Ridleys at a time. Like you can't play with 4 because he'd be too big because the stages or whatever. Hey, I'd be a-okay. I mean, I am a Metroid fan, guys. There would be no actual reason for me to not want Ridley in outside of the aesthetics involved with him. You see what I'm saying? Just making sure that his character is done right. So I'd be cool with if Ridley's in, if he is full size, is for, you know, 18, 20 foot or whatever. But this 6'5", you know, 7 foot, you know, shit you guys are talking about, no. Matter of fact, let me bring up a picture of what these people want with Ridley. And let me see if I could Google one real fast. Let me see. I'm sure you guys have seen those pictures. It'll be like a picture of Smash 4, and like they will just like copy and paste a picture of Ridley over another character, and he'll be like the same height as Samus. It's just freaking retarded. It's just freaking dumb. I can't find one. It was in a video before, but I can't freaking find it. Maybe I'll edit it later if I decide to edit this video, whatever. But I probably won't because I'm a lazy bastard. But I'm sure you guys have seen the pictures I'm talking about, and it just looks absolutely retarded. Seeing a Ridley who's barely taller than Fox McCloud, you know, no. But anyways, Alpha Ridley. Let me see who else is on this list. Outside of Duck Hunt Dog, Dr. Mario, Dark Pit, that's pretty much it. There's really no other characters that are rumored to be get into the game. So that's pretty much it. So that's my thoughts on all the newcomers and the leaks and whatnot. Since this video would probably be too long, I probably will do another video talking about the hands-on impressions people have been given from Japan. So I'll probably do a video on that. But outside of that, that's pretty much it for this video. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.